Alright, so this is a $500 gaming PC that's easy to build that you can find right now. Links will be down in the description. We're gonna make this short and sweet. Press on that like button please, and let's get to the benchmarks. First up, we've got Hogwarts Legacy at 1080p medium to high settings, or medium to low settings. Actually, we were getting around 60 frames per second because this is actually a demanding game. Next up, we got Red Dead Redemption 2 at 1080p high to ultra settings. We will get around 60 frames per second, which shows you that this PC is still capable even though Hogwarts Legacy is demanding. Next up, we got Call of Duty Warzone 2, and at 1080p low settings, you'll find yourself getting around 100 to 110 FPS, and this is the highest you can go for a budget system because this is more of a CPU intensive game rather than anything else. Next up, we got Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p ultra settings with DLSS turned on. You'll find yourself getting 60 frames per second, and actually that's about it. For the CPU, we're looking at the Ryzen 5 3600, or you can also go with the Ryzen 5 5500. It depends on what you like, but both CPUs are actually the same. There is no any difference whatsoever, but it's a 6-core 12-threaded CPU for $100. The only CPU that it can compete with is the Intel Core i3 12100F, where in some games it's actually faster, and I mean the i3 by that. But hey, since we are pairing this CPU with a budget GPU, there's no bottlenecking going on, and some games you can actually get better frame rates, and on top of all that, you have the upgrade pass to the 5800X3D. Also, you have a better core count, so you have a 6-core CPU, which will be better in video editing and multi-threaded applications. So this is something that the i3 cannot do. As for the board, we're looking at the Gigabyte A520M-S2H. This board is a budget board that will get the job done, and it will handle the next gen, the higher end CPUs in case you want to upgrade in the future just fine. You have 2 RAM slots, you have PCIe 4.0, you have 4.0 SSD support, so you got everything you actually need, and it will house any CPU that you pair with it, rather if it's the Ryzen 5 3600 or the Ryzen 5 5500. So a budget board that will get the job done. And the RAM, we're looking at 16 gigs of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM, 2 8GB sticks. 16 gigs seems to be the way to go for a $500 gaming PC. Of course, it will get the job done. You'll have no problems in gaming as of now. You know, in the future you'll need to upgrade, of course, but RAM now is pretty cheap, and this one goes for $35. And the SSD, we're looking at 512GB M.2 SSD for $23. This is an M.2 SSD that you're getting fast boot up times, loading speeds, and is compatible with our system, so you got no problems here. And 512 gigs seems to be the golden standard for a budget PC like that. And the GPU, you know what it is. We're looking at the Amazon version, the Chinese Asurix, or I don't know the brand name exactly. I have butchered the hell out of that name, but this is the GTX 1660 Super that goes for $170 after you add a coupon code. This one is a 6GB GPU, and believe it or not, actually the 1660 Super kinda performs the same as the RTX 3050 without the ray tracing capabilities, of course, but you actually don't need that for a budget PC, and you also don't need that on the RTX 3050 in general. So yeah, we're getting the best of both worlds. This one goes for $170 brand new, and it will not go out of stock anytime soon. There was the RX 6600 for the same price, but right now it doesn't go anywhere to be found actually on Amazon. So it is what it is, but yeah, this is a very good entry-level budget GPU under $200 actually. The case, we're looking at the Aerocool case. This one goes for, I believe, $50. They will get the job done. As for the power supply, we're looking at the Intermax 500W 80 plus bronze certified power supply. This one goes for $37. It gets the job done. It's compatible with our system. You can actually upgrade it to a higher end GPU in the future with no problems. So yeah, take things for granted. This is a very good power supply for the money. And that's been it. If you like the video, press on that like button. If you want to see more videos, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.